Hey, everybody. It's Scott Graham again, hosting another episode of the Follow Your True Azimuth micro podcast. Our guest today is James Scott. James is a business software advisor for thryv, helping mom and pops scale and efficiently manage their business. But he is also a budding van life entrepreneur with his new project, Glamp Mobile. You'll hear more about that at the end of the episode. James, I'm psyched that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me, Scott. This was really an awesome opportunity, and it was honestly a cathartic experience telling the story of finding myself. So thank you again for having me.
James, tell us about a time you struggled to follow your true azimuth.
A time I struggled to follow my true azimuth was at Camp Bisco 2012. I was 19 years old, had just finished my freshman year of college, and I'd had the absolute time of my life after my senior year of high school attending my first Camp Bisco in 2011. So here I am, fresh out of my first year at school where I was really starting to find myself. But I ended up attending the 2012 edition of this festival with basically the people that I had been hanging out with in high school. And right away, it started off on the wrong foot. These kids that I really thought were my friends ended up leaving me behind after, we even talked about me carpooling down with them to the festival. So right away, I ended up making that 4 or 5 hour drive to upstate New York by myself. And then the rest of my time at this 3-day music festival, I found myself not seeing the artists I wanted to see, especially my favorite band, the Disco Biscuits, who host the thing. I think I actually missed half of their sets. And it was because I felt like I had to be hanging out with these people, I felt like that was like something I had to do. I don't know why. And it's telling that the one time that I actually abandoned those friends and went off on my own and saw music by myself and just met random other people was the best time that I'd had at that particular year of the festival. And so this was a memorably horrible experience. I even wrote an essay about it in one of my English classes I took while I was at school. It was just so memorably horrible. Fast forward to the 2013 edition, and this time I was going with friends of mine from school. So already it was off to a much, much better start than the 2012 edition. But sure enough, I kind of ended up in the same rut a little bit. I had learned my lesson. I was adamant I wasn't going to skip any sets of the Disco Biscuits. But one of the sets I remember constantly looking because my friends had said, oh yeah, we'll come back for that set. And I remember, the set was absolutely raging. And I was looking over at these, towards the campgrounds, expecting them to be coming any second, especially at some of the best parts of that set, and nobody ever came. But what was the true revelation was on the final day, the final 2 sets that the band played, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go up to the front and rage by myself. And wow, what an incredible experience. Life-changingly positive. And that's a lesson that has truly changed my life from there. Whereas I found myself needing to follow people around, I now kind of had this confidence to strike out my own path. And that's how I can now kind of be my own nucleus for my own world, like I'm doing with this camper van rental business that I've started on the side. I've been the one to network and find the resources and get where I needed to go. And that experience of finding my true self really helped that happen.
James Scott, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Scott, for the opportunity to be on your podcast.
Now, James, if you listen to any of our episode, you know that sometimes I put guests on the spot with some weird question out of left field. And since we personally know each other, through your dad, that is, who was a guest here actually a couple of episodes ago, I feel like I can put you on the spot. So here's your question. If you were stranded on a desert island full of zombies and you could only take one action to survive, what would you do?
In a hot air balloon, Coronado flies over the sea. For Leora today, and in one day he went from his cell to the sky. At his last chance to fly in a hot air balloon, Coronado flies over the sea.
Well, I don't know, James, if that's bad singing or maybe if the Disco Biscuits somehow transform listeners from zombie like states to one of higher enlightenment. But all I have to say is don't quit your day job. Before we go, can you tell the listeners about Glamp Mobile and what that's about?
So Glamp Mobile is my camper van rental startup. Yes, I am now becoming a van life entrepreneur. No small thanks to Camp Bisco and live music because camper vans was the answer to the question, what's the best way to do a camping music festival? And it's been this awesome experience where I've been able to take everything I've learned helping other people scale their small businesses and turning that expertise on my own project.